Hi gentlemen, I wanted to offer another way of approaching red pill ideas, another perspective if you will. In terms of the friction some people have, consider this: rather than focusing on the red pill content that you accumulate, rather than focusing on the content of your mind, try and switch perspectives and look at the mind itself and how you process things, the hows and whys of the information, not just the information itself. I've said it a few times in the past. Many people think that accumulating and hoarding red pill information is all that's needed. In fact, that's all it is. But I contend that's the mental wall that most guys hit. Now, it's not as complicated as it might sound. These analogies help contextualize the mechanics of what I'm speaking about. So, for instance, many guys in the red pill community, if we take the analogy of chess, what many guys tend to do is point to the queen on the chessboard and say, see, she's the most powerful piece on the chessboard. And then quite rightly also say, but the man is the most valuable piece on the chessboard. And struggle through playing the game in only describing the pieces and trying to shuffle them around rather than approaching the game in a certain way. Rather than thinking about the player, they think about the pieces on the board and a sort of powerlessness in terms of the game and the rules are the way they are, paying no attention whatsoever to the person playing, i.e. you, your mind. I've said it before, I'm not arguing with ontology. Previously, when I did my videos on red pill epistemology, it went completely over people's heads. And that's essentially what I'm talking about here. It's paying attention to your thinking. We can get overwhelmed by so much information. And even if the information is to our benefit, that even if the information confirms our point of view and makes us feel like we're winning, we can still feel frustrated with the game because we're not the player. We're almost observing the pieces being moved, moving pieces around and simply describing them, women, society, meditation, without contextualizing them, without thinking about how you process these things. What we store in our minds, gentlemen, is not as important a question as how we process what we've stored. Do we need to throw things out? Are they useful, but we've been using them upside down or in the wrong manner? Could the useful things we're storing in our mind become all that more useful by turning them around 90 degrees? By focusing more on how we think and not just pointing to the objects in our thoughts in a powerless way, we can understand them more because we're contextualizing them by thinking about them. Not just storing ideas and thinking of them as axioms and dogmas. And just because they're ontologically true, we have no need to process them, for them to make sense for us, to be able to speak them and understand them with language that finally clarifies things for ourselves. You get to the aha moment when you finally understand a concept that you've heard a million times over. But sometimes it's only when a content creator speaks it in exactly the right words that contextualize it in a sentence that makes you go, aha. This is what I'm saying, gentlemen. We should be doing this for ourselves when we talk about red pill ideas. We give ourselves the aha moment. Don't be concerned so much with the content of our minds, but start to be interested in the way you process things, your mind itself. How you contextualize things. This develops the meaning. This develops the understanding, and this develops a calmness and moving on. You finally get something. Something is finally real. You can't change what something obviously is. Society, women, whatever. But you can change your conviction about it. Your understanding about it. A lot of the going your way comes from that. Because simply understanding content is fairly easy. All you have to do is have a surface level interest, and you feel like, yep, checked it off my list. I have this storage of information in my mind. But unless you contextualize it, understand your thinking, and make sense of it for yourself with your own language, with your own understanding, then all it is an intellectual masturbation of storing information in your mind, sort of an egoic hoarding in a suit of armor. It doesn't help you put your shoes on in the morning. So stop juggling clever information in your mind, gentlemen, and start being interested in how you process it, what it means to you. Look at it from one or two different angles to keep clarifying it, so you internalize it and have a conviction about it, a calm conviction about it, because you've processed it. You've processed it from the person playing the game. You're not just watching it. You're not pointing to the queen on the chessboard and getting frustrated at why she has so much power. You're not pointing to the king and being frustrated that although he's the most valuable, he doesn't have as much power as her. Focus on the player and not the game. Focus on you, your mind, and how you process things. Gain some control over your understanding of things, not just knowing the things themselves. I would contend that's a little intellectually lazy, even if it is honest and true. I would say you're doing yourself a disservice in not taking as many steps as you can if you just stop at describing the thing. How it means something to you is everything, gentlemen, especially in terms of self-actualization, because it's about you. It's about the individual. It's about how you think, about what you know and what we all know, but it's about what you think about it. It makes all the difference in going down your path. So in summary, stop focusing on the content of your mind and start being interested about your mind itself and how you process and understand things and internalize things. I hope that helped, gentlemen. I'll talk to you later.